It's Crypto Vlog, guys. In today's video, ShibCat, so sit back, relax, and enjoy.
And before we start, guys, I just want to let you know that I'm not your financial advisor and that you should make your own decisions before investing into a project. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at ShibCat, a meme project on Robinhood chain that definitely got my attention. There's a lot more going on here than just a meme token, so let's jump straight into the website and see what ShibCat is actually building. So this is the official ShibCat website. And now we can actually break down what this project is all about. The basic idea is pretty straightforward. ShibCat, the Shiba Inu cat version. It's a meme-driven project built on Robinhood chain, taking the familiar Shiba-inspired meme concept and giving it its own Feline identity, community and ecosystem. And you can immediately see that the branding is very distinctive. We've got this orange and cream cat, the red Realm aesthetic samurai-inspired visuals and overall theme that makes ShibCat feels like it's trying to build its own recognizable universe rather than simply launching another meme token. But the interesting part is what sits behind the branding. If we look at the navigation, we've got game, NFTs, swap, lore and white paper. And that's already a pretty good indication that there's more than just a token. ShibCat has built out several different components around the project, including a playable game, NFTs and its own swap infrastructure, lore and documentation behind the ecosystem. So instead of just scrolling through the homepage, let's go through these sections one by one and see what is actually there. And we're going to start with the first one, the game. First up we have ShibCat Slice Rush. And honestly, this is one of things I like seeing in a meme project, because this isn't just a static utility page. It's an actual arcade-style game. The concept is pretty straightforward. You enter the dojo, start a run, and you're trying to slice targets, build your streak, find bonuses, avoid drag, and basically get the highest score possible before your run ends. And there's a competitive layer here as well. You've got daily rankings, weekly rankings, and all-time leaderboards. So there's an actual reason for players to come back and try to beat their previous score or something else. And you can see the leaderboard right here. So ShibCat isn't only trying to create a token community, they're also trying to create something people can actually play. And then we get to the weekly cup. According to the project's white paper, the current weekly cup structure uses a ShibCat entry pass, gives players a full hour of unlimited runs, and only the strongest verified run counts toward competition. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The price structure also incorporates a burn mechanism. The current structure is 50% burn, with the remaining 50% split into 25%, 15% and 10% prizes. So gameplay itself is connected to the ShibCat ecosystem, and the roadmap doesn't stop here. The team is planning additional Slice Rush, modes, tournaments, quests, achievements, competitive season and even more arcade experience in the future. So if the goal is to build a meme community that actually has reasons to stick around, this is one of the mechanisms they're using to do it. And now let's move from playing ShibCat to collecting it. Next up is the ShibCat Red Realm. This is the project's NFT collection, and it consists of 3,333 unique ShibCat identities. And you can immediately see that the artwork is built around the same visual identity as the rest of the ecosystem. You've got different characters, outfits, environments, traits, and rarity levels. The collection includes rarity tiers ranging from common and uncommon all the way through the rare, epic, legendary, and mythic. So these aren't simply identical pictures with different numbers. Each NFT represents a different identity inside the ShibCat universe. And the mint itself has an interesting mechanic. The public mint curve starts at $1 and increases by $0.25 after each successful mint. So the price isn't just randomly changing, it follows a defined progression based on successful mints. And after you mint, you get your reveal, including the NFT's artwork, rarity and traits. But the most interesting part for me isn't actually the artwork. It's what happens to the token used for ecosystem. The Red Realm is directly connected to the ShibCat burn mechanism. According to the project's information, when ShibCat tokens are used to mint an NFT, 100% of the ShibCat tokens used for that mint are burned. So the NFT isn't just another product sitting next to the token. The NFT activity is designed to interact directly with ShibCat supply. And there is also a mechanism for the secondary market. When the NFT is sold, the project's stated model sends 95% to the seller, while the remaining 5% royalty or tax goes toward ShibCat burns. And this is where the broader burn story starts becoming important. because NFT activity is one source, the weekly cup is another. ShibCat swap also contributes a small amount, and on top of those automatic ecosystem burns, the dev is also doing manual burns. So there are multiple mechanisms designed to take ShibCat out of active circulation as the ecosystem gets used. The white paper also shows live burn totals and describes Red Realm minting and weekly cup activity as part of the ecosystem broader burn story. And the team isn't stopping with the current mint. They're planning a larger first-party marketplace with listings, offers, timed auctions, collector analytics, and rarity discovery. So there's a lot more planned around the Red Realm. Now let's move to another core place of the ecosystem, the ShibCat swap. This is ShibCat swap, the official swap experience, and the interface is designed to make the process pretty straightforward. You can choose how you want to swap, select the network you're using, choose the source asset, and then enter the destination wallet where your ShibCat will arrive. You can see a number of supported networks here, including Robinhood Chain, Ethereum, BNB Chain, Avalanche, Arbitrum, Base, Solana, and others. And again, interesting part is how this fits into larger ecosystem. ShibCat swap isn't being presented as some completely separate product. It's another piece of ShibCat infrastructure. The team also states that a small amount generated through ShibCat swap contributes towards ShibCat burns. So you've got the game, the NFTs, and the swap all connecting back to the same token. And that's really the theme of this entire project. One identity, multiple ways to interact with it. Which brings us to the story behind identity. Now let's take a look at the ShibCat lore. The story is deliberately simple. ShibCat is the Shiba Inu cat version on Robinhood Chain. The project describes it as a fearless feline identity shaped by memes, culture, community, and next generation of on-chain believers. And honestly, that's what makes meme branding work when it's done properly. You don't necessarily need a complicated story. You need something people can instantly recognize. The cat, the colors, the visual style, the name. And then you build a world around it. That's exactly what ShibCat is trying to do with Red Realm, Slice Rush, the community, and the rest of the ecosystem. The lore basically boils down to one idea, the cat that refuses to be ignored. And considering the project's ambition, that's pretty appropriate tagline. But now let's get into the part where we can actually dig into the fundamentals. Let's open the white paper. So now we are at the ShibCat's white paper, and this is where we can go beyond the visuals and actually look at the project structure. First, the tokenomics. ShibCat launched with a fixed supply of 1 billion tokens. There is 0% buy tax and 0% sell tax. And the original launch liquidity is described as permanently locked on-chain. So the basic token structure is very simple. 1 billion supply, 0% buy tax, 0% sell tax, locked launch liquidity. And you can find the official contract on their website. As always with crypto, don't blindly copy an address from a video. Verify the official contract and transaction information yourself before interacting with anything. Now we get to one of the main themes running through the entire ecosystem, burns. ShibCat's ecosystem is designed so that different activities can contribute to burns. We've already seen NFT minting, we've seen the weekly cup, we've seen ShibCat swap. And the project also displays burn totals across the ecosystem. The white paper specifically describes Red Realm mint activity and weekly cup settlements as mechanisms that send ShibCat out of active circulation. And again, the team says the dev is also performing manual burns on top of automatic burns generated by the utilities. So this is something worth watching as the ecosystem grows. The more activity these utilities generate, the more important those burns mechanics could become. Of course, burn activity alone doesn't guarantee price appreciation, but it's an important part of how the token is designed to interact with its own ecosystem. Another part of the ecosystem is the Letterbox wallet. The idea here is to connect the different ShibCat products through one wallet experience. According to the white paper, users can manage their ShibCat and RH Ethereum balances, receive funds through the QR code, send supported assets, review activity, access swaps, enter the weekly cup, and fund the NFT mint. So instead of having one wallet for the token, another system for the game, and another experience for the NFT, the goal is to connect everything. The way the team describes it, it's basically one account, one wallet, and direct path between the token, the game, and the Red Realm. And that's an important part of the bigger ShibCat vision. Now let's talk about where ShibCat is going next. The roadmap is split into 4 major phases. Phase 1 is the foundation, and a lot of this is already live. We're talking about ShibCat token, 0% buy and sell tax, permanently locked launch liquidity, Slice Rush, verified leaderboards, weekly cup, Letterbox wallet, swaps, and Red Realm mint. So this isn't just a roadmap full of promises. A large part of that initial foundation is already operating. The second phase focuses heavily on the NFT ecosystem. The team is planning first-party listing, offers, timed auctions, collector portfolios, rarity discoveries, collections analytics, additional NFT artwork, more slice rush models, quests, and seasons. The goal here is basically to run the Red Realm into a much deeper collector experience. Then things get much more ambitious. The planned ShibCat bots ecosystem includes market movements and social intelligence, campaign reporting, user direction trading tools, practice mode, backtesting, wallet watchlist, price alerts, scheduled strategies, and expanded Telegram functionality. So we're moving from entertainment and collectibles into more advanced community and market tools. And finally, we have the long-term vision, the ShibCat universe. That includes Red Realm quests, achievements, cosmetics, additional arcade games, team challenges, competitive seasons, expanded Telegram experience, creator tools, partner integration, tournaments, community grants, merchandise, and live activation. So if you put the whole roadmap together, the idea is pretty clear. They're trying to evolve ShibCat from a meme token into a connected entertainment, gaming, NFT, and community ecosystem. And before we talk about the biggest goal, let's look at who's behind all of this. ShibCat has a publicly presented team with the main developer and core contributors listed in the white paper, so you can see them all right over here. Team information is public with profiles and social links available. The project also highlights the previous experience of its main developer. According to the project's brief, the same docs developers behind ShibCat launched Solana in 2024, which reportedly reached a market cap of more than $140 million. Now obviously previous success doesn't guarantee future performance, but it does give us some context about the experience behind the project. And personally, I always think it's worth looking at who's actually building an early stage crypto project rather than only looking at the memes itself. Now let's quickly check the current market presence. ShibCat is already listed on CoinGecko, so we can track the token's market information, price, volume, and overall market presence here. But there's another important update. ShibCat is also now live on CoinMarketCap. You can see the current price in 24 hours, performance, trading volume, supply information, and CoinMarketCap ranking right here. There's also a live ShibCat price chart, so this gives us another way to track the token's performance. And I think it's worth pointing out because having ShibCat visible on both CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap gives people more places to independently track the project and its market data. At the time of recording, CoinMarketCap is showing ShibCat as a part of Robinhood ecosystem category as well. Of course, listing themselves don't guarantee anything about future price performance. But for a project this early, having the token's market data publicly trackable across major crypto data platforms is definitely something worth noting. And now let's go one step deeper and look at the actual ShibCat tracking chart on DexScreener. This is the ShibCat WETH pair on Robinhood chain, and this gives us a much closer look at the actual market activity behind the token. Here we can see the price action, liquidity, volume, and transaction activity in real time. You can also switch between different time frames right here. So rather than only looking at whether the token is up or down, you can actually see how the price has been moving and how volatile the market is. And when you're looking at a young meme token like ShibCat, I think it's especially important. Don't just look at a green candle and assume it means the token is automatically strong. Look at the liquidity, look at the volume, and look at the numbers of actual buys and sells taking place. You can see the transaction activity right here as well. That gives you additional context for what's happening on the chart. A sudden price move can look impressive, but you also want to understand whether there's meaningful trading activity and liquidity behind that move. A sudden price move can look impressive, but you also want to understand whether there's meaningful trading activity and liquidity behind that move, and that's why I would personally check all three. CoinGecko for the broader market overview, CoinMarketCap for another independent market data source, and DexScreener for the actual trading pair, liquidity, and price action. So if you're researching ShibCat for yourself, these are 3 pages I'd keep open side by side. And remember, especially with an early stage meme tokens, volatility can be extreme. So use these charts and market trackers to do your research rather than blindly chasing a move. And this brings us back to the biggest part of the ShibCat story, the goal. The team wants to get ShibCat listed on Robinhood exchange, and not just stop there. The bigger vision is to establish ShibCat as one of the top meme coins and movements on Robinhood chain. Now let's be realistic. A Robinhood listing is an ambitious target. It's not guaranteed, and nobody can predict exactly how a meme project will perform. But what I like about this project is that the destination is very clear. They're not trying to pretend that the vision is something complicated. It's actually incredibly simple. Build a cat, build a community, build the ecosystem, and make ShibCat impossible to ignore. After going through the entire ShibCat ecosystem, is this just another meme coin? Well, that's ultimately something each person has to decide for themselves. But one thing is clear. There's significantly more here than just a token and a funny picture. We've got a 1 billion fixed supply, 0% buy and sell tax, permanently locked launch liquidity, an actual arcade game, competitive leaderboards, and 3,333 piece NFT collection. NFT burn mechanics, ShibCat swap, the leader box wallet, a publicly presented team, and a roadmap covering games, NFTs, market tools, Telegram integrations, and a much larger ShibCat universe. And now we've also looked at the actual ShibCat trading chart on Dex Screener, where you can monitor the price action, liquidity, volume, and transaction activity for yourself. And remember, this is still a very early project. That means there can be significant upside if the team executes and the community grows, but it also means there are significant risks. So don't buy anything just because someone on YouTube tells you to. Check the contract, read the white paper, look at a team, check the Dex Screener chart, explore the ecosystem, and do your own research. But if you're someone who likes discovering crypto projects early, especially meme projects that are trying to build something beyond the token itself, ShibCat is definitely one to keep on your radar. Because the vision is incredibly simple. ShibCat, the Shiba Inu cat version, built on Robinhood chain, and the ultimate goal, make the cat impossible to ignore. So guys, that will be everything for this video. Hope you find this video informative and entertaining. Don't forget to share this video, subscribe to this channel, like it, and put notification on. Join this amazing project called ShibCat and check all of these information just for yourself. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.